So we get to talk about snakes today.
Yeah. Neat. The King Cobra has a reputation for being, like, well, a bit of a dick. What with all the stories you've probably heard about them biting people on the dick. As it turns out, though, this reputation is not only unfair, but downright false according to some experts. Also, you can avoid them just by taking off your clothes, which is cool.
End video.
Yeah, that's what it would be, wouldn't it? It would be the end of the video if all the people who complain, you take too long to get to the point. The fuck? I'm going to summarise this video in one sentence. Oh, so you're so busy that you can't watch all the video, but you can leave that comment, can you? Awesome. Clearly you, oh, fuck's sake. I'm not getting into it. It's one of the few things that really gets to me when you just see someone's like, oh, we could summarise this video in 30 seconds and go, well, yeah, if you're boring.
Yeah.
And you don't enjoy, like friendly banter, I guess.
Yeah, you include the tangents, you talk about other subjects as well as the article.
How boring would this channel be if that's what it was? If it was just me reading out 4 things and going, yeah, 1 minute long video.
Yeah, you could just do it on your own.
Yeah, awesome. Don't need any more people. Oh, those people just hate fun.
King Cobras, they sound quite dangerous and aren't they,
They do, yeah.
venomous?
Like, Cobra, and then it's like, a Cobra sounds dangerous. A King Cobra, that must be dangerous as fuck. And they are very, very dangerous, and they are capable of killing, a healthy adult male in, one single bite. So don't fuck with them. But according to snake experts, the reputation they have as dangerous killers who seek out people to bite them for no reason is completely unfounded. And there's a quote from one expert that says, well, most encounters with the King Cobra end with, and I quote, hardly any hysterics, which is a roundabout way of saying without the snake completely flipping its shit and biting you 10 times. Because believe it or not, King Cobras are actually described as being quite docile animals with a, and I quote again, placid disposition, which makes them very easy to capture, kill, or avoid entirely. And the latter being especially easy because they apparently don't like confrontation and will avoid it at all costs. Or to put it another way, the King Cobra is one puss-ass snake. The fact that they will actively avoid confrontation with other animals is completely at odds with the reputation they have. Because you think King Cobra, you just think this giant snake rearing up and biting people for no reason, spitting venom in their eyes. But it couldn't be further from the truth. However, we should note that thanks to their their length, their girth, and overall cobraness, King Cobras are very, very dangerous. So don't advise anyone out there listening to this go out and pick a fist fight with a cobra, because it's probably not going to end very well.
You mentioned earlier that there was a way to avoid them, and you said something about stripping?
Yes, believe it or not, one of the number one ways experts recommend to avoid a confrontation with a King Cobra if you ever find yourself in that situation is to get your Blink 182 on and take off your pants and jacket. And this is because, like many snakes, King Cobras use movement and subtle vibrations in the air to discern where a threat or prey is. And as a result of this, it's possible to distract or even bamboozle a King Cobra by taking off your shirt, lightly flapping it and throw it on the ground, at which point the snake will attack that instead of you, giving you time to run away from the snake. And of course, obviously, this has a chance of not working, at which point the snake will then attack your supple torso flesh and leave you rolling around on the floor, dying with your shirt off as it writhes all over you, leaving snake turds everywhere. But that's the risk you take when you challenge a cobra.
So I'm assuming that's pretty similar to how snake charming would work.
Yes, and people probably have an idea in their head of what snake charming is, and it is a person probably wearing a magnificently jewelled turban, playing a wind instrument in front of a basket in which there is a snake, usually a cobra, and they pull the lid off the basket, the snake rears up, and then he's just entranced by the music. In actuality, it's not the music, it's the movement of the, the flute or whatever instrument they happen to be playing. You'll notice that even in cartoonish depictions of snake charming, they always move their head from side to side of the music and the snake follows it. It's following the instrument, not the sound. Obviously, the sound does have an effect on the snake, but it's not so much the sound as the air vibrations the sound causes, combined with the movement of the instrument, which just confuses it and gives the illusion that the snake is somehow hypnotized.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few animals you can do that to. I think chickens are a famous one.
Really?
Where if you get a chicken, you get your finger, you put it on its thing and you draw a line on the ground.
Yeah.
The chicken will stare at it for 20 minutes and just not move.
Really?
Yeah. And I think you can do it with lobsters. If you run a finger along a lobster's back and you can turn it upside down, and it'll just not move and it'll fall asleep. And it's noted that that's how you can cook lobsters without, like, you know, any fuss.
Oh, wow.
Because you put them to sleep and then just drop them into the water, and they don't realise. I don't think you can do the same thing with a chicken, but no one's tried that yet. Hypnotise a chicken and just drop it into a broiler. Well, I'm sure there's probably someone out there who's tried that and it's gone horribly, horribly wrong.
I always like the thing with chickens where, what is it, where if you hold a chicken and you move it, the head stays in the same place.
They have perfect equilibrium on their head.
It's kind of fun to watch, isn't it?
It just made me think, like, I was recently at a wedding and they had a videographer
Okay.
and she was using a steady cam. I'm just imagining if she's
Just
using
had
a
a chicken.
chicken instead.
Don't you imagine that?
Just walking around the ballroom with a chicken.
No, combine all these things. You get a chicken attached to a drone. And then you hang it from the drone, and the chicken's got a camera on its head. Just spin it around. Like, the chicken just like completely loses its shit because it's flying for no reason. It's like, oh my god!
And it just gets stuck in a tree. The wedding that I last did photography for.
Yes, you can hire Nisha if you want. Look her on Twitter.
Yeah, the groomsman brought along his drone.
Oh,
and
God.
he got it out to start like filming the wedding party as we were waiting to go to the reception, and the drone just like flew off. And, and apparently he had it like set to go back to his address.
Oh, so it just
If
flew
got
home.
lost, it just flew home.
He just fucked off and went home. So I wasn't invited. Bollocks to this. Did anything go from like cool to douchey faster than drones? Like they were this like really awesome novelty, and like I think like is it OK Go?
Yeah.
Did like the video like entirely with drones, like as one like they're famous for doing like cool music videos, and there was like all the footage people got from doing like skateboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just used by like dickheads in the park who like fly them into trees and shit.
I'm pretty sure Adam had a drone.
You had a drone?
Flew into a tree straight away.
Oh man, why don't you just fly it into the airport, mate? I can't think in recent history of news reporting that was more irresponsible than like BBC News going out and saying, yeah, all of Heathrow has been ground to a halt by a single drone. So if you're at home and you're watching that and you're thinking, all right, should we go blow ourselves up at a plane? Because that's really difficult. Also, like we've got all these like measures in to stop us. Do you know what we should do instead? Let's all go buy one drone each and go to 10 different airports in the UK and fly them all on the same day and ground all air traffic in the UK. I remember though when it happened, and there was this tweet I saw from some, like, you know, bit of gammon, just screaming like, oh, I can't go on fucking holiday because of a drone. Just fly through, it's not going to do much. And the top response was like a clip of a drone hitting the fuselage of a plane, just taking it completely out. I went, oh yeah, that's why.
That is the reason.
Because it'll fucking shred it. It's like with trains where people always say, oh man, there's leaves on the track. And I was like, oh, a leaf on the track, how does that stop a train? You think, well, if there's like a load of wet leaves, like what happens when you step on a wet leaf? You go, whoa! Now imagine a train doing that. Just like ploughing into the back of another train. Before we move on, we can talk about as a friend of mine who drives trains. And he was telling me like as part of his training, and they got told like, yeah, like you're gonna hit an animal. Like it's just gonna happen because animals are stupid and trains are fast. And for the most part, you don't really need to slam your brakes on because like this thing weighs like 100 tons and it's a sheep. However, you do have to stop if you see more than 6 sheep. And I think the way it was worded to him is, in like the manual he got given, you are permitted to hit up to 6 sheep. And the joke that he made is, well, that's fine, but how do you count them? She'll fall asleep. It's like 1, 2, 4, and he loves telling that joke, and he's gonna be so annoyed that I stole it. But I'm just now thinking like, that's so harsh. Like, would you get on a train if you saw it pull up and there was 6 sheep's worth of like, you know, just carnage on the front of it?
No. No.
It's like you just won't, would you? To bring it back to cobras to close off, like while taking off your shirt and throwing it at the snake isn't a guaranteed way to avoid it attacking you, it is the way that most experts would say, like, maximises your chances of leaving with the least amount of snake bites. But I'm just now thinking like how badass it would look. Like if you're out there like your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and like King Cobra like comes across your path, and the first thing you go, don't worry, I know what to do, and you rip off your shirt like Hulk Hogan and throw it on the floor, and the snake just dives straight into it, and you can just convince the person next to you, yeah, that's my raw animal musk. The snake just had to get its head in there and then just walk off. Alternatively, you do that and then the snake just bites your nips off.
I was gonna say, it just dives through your top.
Oh, it comes through the arm.
It comes through the arm and jumps and like attaches onto your nipple or something.
It's like, what is this? It's the world's most brutal piercing. In conclusion, while this isn't a perfect way to stop a king cobra, I personally think it's quite funny that one of the most fearsome reptiles on the face of the earth can be distracted by the same thing that annoys your mum, a crumpled shirt on the floor. So you mentioned earlier, Nisha, like the idea of attaching a camera to a chicken, which I then expanded upon and said, attach the chicken to a drone. So let's just go one step further and create the ultimate, camera utilising animals. And let's say instead of a drone, you attach it's like an eagle or something like that. No, an albatross.
Yeah.
Because an albatross can stay in there for 9 days, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So let's say you've got a chicken as your base, and you connect that to, the albatross. It can stay in the air for longer than any drone can. No battery life is going to top an albatross's flight time. So what else can we do to this camera to create the ultimate piece of visual and audio capturing technology? Because we need to attach to that a boom mic. But what animal can we attach that can carry the boom mic? So I'm going to think the king cobra. Joe king cobra can stand up like that long. They go like that.
Yeah.
And also this is getting photoshopped, so good luck whoever's editing this one. What else do you need if you're filming something? So you've got a boom mic.
Lights.
You need lights. Okay, what can carry the lights?
I'm thinking a chimpanzee or something. Something that just can hold it.
Hold on.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Can easily hold on to something.
Okay, let's do that. So attached to this, this rigging is now 2 chimpanzees either side holding the lights, because you need the lights, don't you?
Yeah.
You need lights. What else do you need? We need a green screen.
Let's say put a green screen.
How do you film without a green screen? Well, what animal can we get to hold the green screen? It's got to be a green animal.
Well, I think the closest animal that is like a green screen is chameleon.
Okay, so
it just blend into the background. You can put anything in the background.
So that's not attached to this. That's just separate. And what could be carrying the chameleons? Let's say hummingbirds. Let's just say bright green hummingbirds all the way along the top, just keeping it up in the air. When if you've got a green screen, I've got to be there. So now I'm in front of the green screen, but I tend to move around a lot.
Yeah.
This is known. I wander from side to side. So what can I be stood on that's going to keep me rooted in place? So I'm thinking like a tortoise.
Yeah.
If I'm just stood on a tortoise, like a really big one, not a little one. No, one tortoise on each foot, because they don't move. And if they do move, they move very slowly. So I'm not going to wander off camera. So what else do we need now? So we've got lights, we've got me, we've got a green screen, we've got a camera, and we've got mics.
So the only thing really that we have in this setup is something to drink.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, 'cause we can't have my mini fridge. Fuck that. We want to save the environment. So I say we've got a Pelican. Jokes have got the really big open mouths, and we put ice in the bottom bit, and then put beers in it. It's like a portable ice cooler, like some Flintstones era shit.
It's like Karl's bucket.
That'd be so good, like a pelican. Just imagine the pelican's next to you and go, "Excuse me, Peli." So, da-da. And then I can see, boom. There we go, done, perfect. Behold, the ultimate fact Fiend camera setup right there. That's what Big Wangers Inc.'s going to invest in if we make enough money.
Oh my God.
It's the future. The worst bit is as well, the quality of that would be better. That's the annoying bit.